Okay, so we have another one again. So it was quite a good video last time when we got up on the camera. A eBay retro electrical restoration of extension leads. So I've got another bundle here. There's 10 in here. Where do we start? Well, let's lay them out and have a look, shall we? We'll have a look at them one by one. God. You're already, you can see some in bad condition. I'll have to put some on the floor as well. Some of the plug tops are to match what's going on. Like that NTA's for something. So put the box out of the way, let's start with this one. This is a, I don't know what one, WK. It's quite an old 13 amp one. I think this one needs a clean up and a more durable plug. We'll pat test this one and find out. This one looks okay. To be honest, that can be restored quite well. So, and then we have this one. This is on my books. What is that? That is 0.75. Probably with a 13 amp fuse as well to top it all off. God, I haven't got the right. I'll have to have a proper look in a minute. So, yeah, this one is being rewired. Probably with 10 amp cable, but yeah. You know, oh god, that's got stuff. You don't want to be plugging your kettle into that. Doesn't look very strong. It looks quite thin. I don't know why people would want to do it. But that's another one of them. This one's interesting. It's unsleeve pin, which I don't have a problem with because I don't see how anyone can touch it. But you've got Volix. I'd rather have the right fuse. But this one did it. If you plug this one in and insert a piece of test equipment, then you're asking for trouble. It did give it in. It might give it again, but it probably won't because it's on camera. Check straight away. Yeah, what's going on there? I don't know. We'll have a look at that one first because I'm dying to see what's inside that one. I mean, that is made out of like an old computer cable. That's could be 0.5, but I don't want to say. It could be. But yeah, then there's another one. This one doesn't look all that bad. Oh god, when they're not knotted up, is that better? This one's a home base one, which probably can do with a rewire. I'll probably put a better plug on than a PMS, something, maybe NTA or something. This one probably could do a pat test. They don't want you in there, however there is security screws there, so that tells me it could be a trailing socket. It is an older one because, in fact, wires in this main sleeve are coloured in the corners. If replacing plug, ensure correct polarity. Do not wire. Yeah, that's most likely a trailing socket with security screws. Might be able to rewire that one. I mean, it's had a misfortune in its time, so that's sad, but it can be sorted. And this one's interesting in itself. This is a PMS, I think it is. PMS will restore this one. Moulded plugs, so it's been cut off some crap like an old fridge. Don't agree with moulded plugs for starts, but the neon lamp doesn't seem to work on this one. We'll have a look at that. However, the lead works. God. Hooray. Another one. Why would you want to do it? This is your life you're talking about. Whatever you plug into this, you're putting your life on it. Just why? It actually makes me angry how people do this. And it's got a 13 amp fuse in. Probably can't carry that. Yep, it's got a 13 amp fuse straight in it. And it looks to be, oh, it says what it is. 1mm cable. A 10 amp fuse. You know, a 10 amp fuse would have done that, but it just shows you, don't it? The things people will be going through. The risks people will go through to get things done. I thought that hole wasn't meant to be there, but it is. It's manufactured. But the risks people go through just to get a bloody plug-in is It's unbelievable. Busman fuse, which is okay. The other ones are just more domesticated, which could probably just do the pat test and a quick clean up. So this is just a PMS domestic job. He could do with a clean up, but apart from that, he's probably perfectly fine. But he will get pat tested, they don't escape it. This one is a Poundland Special. Classic 5 stars, and it does actually have copper pins and not, so it might be an older one. That pin looks a little bit of a funny, there's a funny etch on that. That's interesting, that is. God, what are they doing? That one's got to be, try that one in. Can't really get it on camera though. Ooh, that's interesting for a Poundland extension aid. Wow, that one needs to go aside. Then this one's really good, but it just needs a clean up. It's a Mem Delta. Mem Delta is an amazing brand. MEM, brilliant brand. Now sadly, MEM have went out of business, but I have got a rewirable Mem Delta plug top, so I'll be cleaning this one up and putting a Mem Delta plug on this out of respect, because Mem Delta were a fantastic company. And yeah, so let's get down to some of these. Let's look at them individually now. This is some of the stuff I'm dealing with. I'm pat testing them as I go, before and after. So this is the Everready Volix one. Let's see what the results are, shall we? So it's passed on that. It still needs a rewire because it just looks crude. Well, it really is an old one. Wiring passed. So it has passed. It's not in the best state, is it? I mean, this wire looks rubberized, whatever it is. It couldn't be vulcanized Indian rubber. Oh, nope. 0.75, probably with a 13 amp fuse. Instant failure. That is being rewired now. So let's get inside this thing. So here's the condition of the Volix/MB, because I've looked on the bottom and it said MB. This is before the days they tell you this appliance must be connected to a suitable supply via 1mm with a 10 amp fuse, or 1.25 or 1.5. This one is 0.75. It's okay if it had a 5 amp fuse, because as we can see in there, it's got a 10 amp fuse in it. So that's not good, because that would allow 2000 watts down 5 amp cable. And if we look at this wiring in this plug, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? It's ready to come out, so we'll take this out, terminate this to it. We're making it original, that's the aim of it. So we're going to use a Volix unsleeve pin plug. Don't mind them, because no one's going to put their hand behind it, or at least not in this house. We're very well looked after, so it will get done carefully. As we can see in there, it's a bit grimy, but right, let's sort this one out, shall we? Okay, so I had to do a bit later. However, I've just shown the lead. This is it now, with a Volix 13 amp plug top and new flex, along with the lead rewired. Let's do a good thing and plug it in now. As we can see, no magic smoke. Plug it in, and you have good. Same with this one. And good. So that's lead 1 done. The next one I'm going to focus on is this old PMS junky horrible thing. I'm going to pat test this. But yeah, that's 1 down. A few more to go now. There's 2 more singles to do. Oh, I think, and then there's some shop made ones which just need pat testing and visual inspections really. But these are the interesting ones over here. Oh god, here we go again. This one's in just about crappy condition. 0.75 13 amp fuse. It's just disgusting. Like, why would you put yourself at risk? First off, a moulded plug, and on KTV we don't use them anyway, so if this was okay, that would be coming off. but the whole thing's coming off, so it's alright. But look at that, that's just, it's okay in theory, but it's not the best, you know. I'll definitely be sorting that. I mean, you can see where the plugs have been. That was the plug on the other thing, and you can see where it's been left so long. It's been left in the sun. I mean, it's probably quite a classic old one, but it just shows you, don't it? Let's get this one apart and get some new flex on this one, shall we? Okay, so all that moulded crap has gone, and we're working again. So I've redone this one, and it says on there, this socket must be earthed. This socket must be connected to the minimum size 1.25 3-core to a 3-pin plug with a 13 amp fuse, which is what it is. Before it was, but that was 0.75 with 13 amp fuse. The plug is a SWE SWE. They're quite a good name. I've used their stuff. I have managed to fix the neon, although it is a bit crap. If I turn the fluorescent tubes off, it's not the best, but it does work. There you go. So shove the lights back on. Then it's a bit of a dim one, but I suppose it's good. It's an old PMS, antique PMS. It's probably built like a tank. I mean, it's probably better built than any other crap made now. I can only imagine it being built to last and not, you know. The radio has booted up. Now, one thing I'm going to get on it now, I'm going to take this thing out, which still has a little bit of flex on it. Jesus Christ. Plug that in with an old bit of flex on it. Luckily I didn't make contact with the end there. I'm going to let, it's about 3 meters long, 4 meters long, and we got lead, yep, it's lead. I'm going to test both leads, both sides with the pack tester. Then we can issue the relevant sticker on it when I can find them, and a suitable pen that works, because I'm trying ballpoint on it and it just doesn't want to know. We've passed on the earth. Wire in, it's the same, hopefully. Yay! We got a pass there, and I'll do the other one off the camera, but that's the second one. The third one now, I'm going to go into one of the single ones, and I think I'm going to go for that one with the skinny wire. So let's have a look at that one. Wow guys, this one is the most interesting. I said I'll pick that one with a thin bloody wire up. It was glad I did, because someone's plugged a heater in or something, where something tells me it's 0.5, but then it doesn't quite look as thin, because this is a piece of 0.5. Nah, I don't think it's that, but come on. You know, but as we can see on the live conductor, a lovely burn up. So this one's going to have to be a full rewire and a full cleaner. I'm hoping this train socket should be okay. This plug doesn't seem to have taken any damage, or has it? It seems to only be there. Oh, maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, Jesus Christ, let's take a look at this plug. Oh my god, it doesn't pull out, but I've never seen a plug wired that badly in my life. Jesus Christ, that earth lead, I haven't tampered with any of this. Oh my lord, the live should be there. Wow, and that's barely in there. Not wow in a good way. This thing needs to be terminated. Right, let's deal with this one now, shall we? So there it is. That's the melted one dealt with. The old WK. There's two of these. This one has been wired in 1mm 3-core flex. I think it's CMK Basics, a brilliant CEF. Doesn't seem to say, but I'm probably being stupid. And as we can see, it's been restored with a, I'll say old 2011 Snyder Electric. Come with the house on the old water heater. Obviously when the plumbing engineer got rid of it, I cut this off because this is something which I would use, and I have. So yeah, it's okay, but I am going to keep an eye on it because of what happened. I'm going to pack test it next, so that'll all be done. But yeah, I have to keep an eye on it because obviously the melting, but these probably get used for little things anyway. if I go down to the old wire, which I'm going to throw away, guys, because I'm not taking the chance, and same with that plug. I don't know what that plug has been through. It's just too risky. I mean, that wiring is just, oh, shocking. I've never seen anything that bad. You can see here in the live conductor, it's kind of burned out, and I think what's happened, someone's plugged a heater in, whereas this wire couldn't take a heater. The trading socket could take a heater, but only if it was connected to the right supply, so therefore it's caused heat, so therefore this whole cable just needs to be discarded along with that, because the risks are just too high with them. It's as simple as, it's not worth the risk. So I'm going to discard of that now, because even that fuse, you never know what it's been through, so it's just not worth it. I'm just going to discard it, and I'm going to move on to the other, the Mem Delta one next, because there's a Mem Delta one. Let's have a look at the Mem Delta, because I'm quite excited about that one. Mem Delta deserves all the respect in the world. They are a fantastic company. This one says Delta on the front, however on the back it says MEM. I don't know what's happened there, but the lead isn't breaking apart, so it is still in good serviceable condition. It says MEM on the back, just a piece of art. I love these leads. This wire is 1.25, however that needs to go, because that is not, I don't like moulded on this channel, as we know. So, but don't worry about that, don't panic, because we have a Delta Mem replacement. So this is the same sort of thing, just in a rewirable form. I don't know whether this one has it. One is a flathead. It might have a rewirable fuse on it. No, not rewirable fuse, a Delta fuse? No, that doesn't look like Delta. Oh god. Is it a Delta fuse? Oh, it is. It's got an original Delta fuse as well. That other one has an original Delta fuse, so I'm going to restore that and get it out of that. I mean, that's moulded, so that's no good, but just do that, because that Delta fuse is perfect. So that's the list to be disposed of. Oh no, not this, sorry. I've thrown it on a pile somewhere. Where am I going today, guys? Oh god. That's the moulded plug, so that can go with that. That's trash. There you go, that's also trash. That's part of the trash over there. So let's get this Mem Delta on and get impact tested. So amongst this bundle there is some non-rewirable ones. Now this one's just a domestic. Looks like 5 meters, I'd like to say. I've never had a 5 meter PMS, or I could say 3 meters. So this is just your domestic PMS. I think this one just needs a pat test, because I can't see anything that goes wrong with them. That can go wrong with them. However, you never know. When buying second-hand electrical stuff, it's always worth. Yep, that looks pretty new from the manufacturer, actually. That looks pretty new from PMS. That's not. It's an older plug, an older design PMS plug. Does say PMS on it? Yeah, it's an older design PMS plug top. However, I can't really see what would exactly go wrong with it. Let's plug it into the socket and see what Mr. Luchuk thinks of it. This one looks okay in its condition. Yeah, that's just your domestic, boring, cheap, you know, I like the fun ones, the classic ones. This is just your boring. I mean, it's good because it's an older PMS, but it's not rewirable or anything. Well, oh god. Right, well that needs to be checked out then. We'll give it a pat test and check that out. That end one, it seems to be. I don't know if that was just a one-off or a glitch where it's been used so much. Let's try that end one again. Oh look, it was a glitch. So that's just your domestic crappy PMS. Yeah, not much to it. Probably tool station, cheapy by the looks of it. I could rewire it if I drilled them security screws out, but there's no point to it. As long as it passes pat tests, then it should be fine. Now this one in itself, do you notice the problem? Because I do. This one has a crack. you can expose yourself to live parts. So regardless if it works or not, you don't do it. You do not risk it. That needs to go. Simple as. So we got to plug in a piece of flex out of this. This one's interesting in itself. This one's made by a company called Micromax. Now Micromax were quite a good company back in their time, but sadly disaster struck with them and they went out of business. So it's a shame. This is Micromax were quite a good name, and that's not going to reach to the wall. So if I can find that PMS, which I've dumped down here, I can just connect it onto that. So we have a Micromax. I've seen this for you. Saw it in one of my other eBay retro installations. Now that one is somewhere because it's under a lot of hassle at the moment. That lead, that Micromax, essentially the other one, is still in use. It still works, but it's not a surge protector. This one is a Micromax surge protector. So this one needs a pat test, but I think this will fail because that means the surge protection electronics are protecting the device. It failed the pat test, but it shouldn't fail this. It did earlier at least. Yeah, it's fine. So that's a good start. This is probably domestic from Micromax. Yeah, we'll do a couple of them because that gets a bit boring, but we have still got a neon. If you have a look, we've still got a light which indicates surge protection active. So regardless of what goes on, we still have, that is still a surge protector, which is brilliant. Looking at the bottom of it, it says Micromax there. If the camera will pause on that, focus on that. If that's readable on your screen, you can read that. But it just says 1 port surge protection device, class 2 voltage, lightning by means of shunt type device, 5000 amps, max 7.5, operating the storage temperature, normal range. 210 millimeter hole for wall mounting, so you can wall mount this. Total load must not exceed 13 amps, and this one was passed in 2004, so this was 2004 this, so it's not that old, it's not that new. It seems in pretty good nick for its size, to be honest, for its age. Is that 3 amperes in there? Or is that that's a bit odd that to use. Let's get a plug with a better, screw with a better, there you go. Have a look at this. This is probably original from the factory as well. Yeah, no one's ever tampered with that. That still has the crimps that they provide from the factory in that. Yeah, this one, I want to use this one. This is a beautiful one. This is worth its weight. This is worth its weight in a gold, regardless of pat test, which will be done now. But it might fail because of the nature of these surge protection devices. They tend to fail because of the surge protection device tries to swallow the load, because the surge protection thinks the pat test is implying a fault, so therefore the surge protector blocks out the 500 volt, which makes the machine think it's failed. Oh, are we getting here? This is where it might fail. Yeah, look, see, that's good, because although the socket's been checked for loop, which is good, it hasn't done the wiring, but we know the wiring from that socket test, so that's good actually. Although a fail isn't good normally, in this case it's showing it's supplied 500 volts and the electronics within this have kicked the voltage out. They've realised that it's too high and it's shut it down. It's stopped it, which has made it fail. Overall, it's a lovely little lead. This Micromax was an amazing company and I really miss them, to be honest. I've got a couple more restorations to do, so let's do that now. So this is the classic one, the Mem Delta. Come on, Mem Delta. Come on. I got faith in you. Come on. Yes. Mem Delta has won. So this is the restoration of the Mem Delta. This is only a single one. However, it's got the rewirable Mem Delta plug put on it. Not much to it. And I'm going to pat test that one now. All good. So let's plug it into the pat test. Let's do this one on video, since these Mem Deltas were amazing. I've got one more restoration after this. Then I've got some 3 amp extension leads to make, out of 3 amp fuses and 0.5 cable, hence why I had that stuff earlier. So I've got to get that. But yeah, I've got to make that out of PMS boring modern ones. Come on Mem Delta. Perfect. So that's Mem Delta passed. So let's go to the last one, shall we? Okay, this one's going to be a juicy one. I've just looked at this. First thing I've come across is wood screws. So yeah, this is the same type as that one I shown earlier that I rewired with the 1mm with the dodgy cable. Yeah, Jesus Christ, I could pull it out of my drawer right now. I can look down that metal tray, indeed, probably. That metal tray next to this. I'll probably find something in there that fits it. However, I'm just going to use what they've put, just to be careful and safe. Right, this one has white shutters, and this one's wired. Oh god, that's a bit crude. But this one's wired okay. I don't need to touch this one. Yeah, I'm going to shut that one. I'm going to shut this bit because I don't actually need to put new flex into that one. That one's wired perfectly okay actually. There's nothing in there to stop that being safe as long as it passed pat testing. Yeah. I mean, this isn't good, this is crude. This, I would like the original screws to it, however, it's okay. In an eBay bundle for 10 quid or 8 quid I think with £3 posting, you can't go wrong with the amount of extension leads you've got. I've thrown away, I've got rid of one, the whole one, as you saw earlier in the video, but majority of them are pat testing okay. I've rewired them because some of them are in shocking condition. This plug is, see, it's a brittle plug, but it is a holder, so it is a good name, so you have to argue that. It's a brittle plug, but I think this one will be okay as well. It's a 13 amp and it's a Busman. It's not new from the manufacturer, it's made up. However, as long as this passed pat test, I don't do work unnecessarily, so considering this one can pass its pat test, then I don't see any reason of changing this one. So let's do the pat test now, and let's do the loop check first actually. Let's do the loop check first. Yeah, that's okay actually. So let's take the plug out of the wall and put it into the pat tester. Let's apply the usual extension lead test to it and see what happens. This one will probably, yeah, I'm keeping this one as it is. There's no need to take things out when you don't need to, and this is one of the chances. This lead is perfectly fine, no one's going to hurt it. Oh, Insociate is thinking about it. Pass. Hey, and it's passed, so yeah. That just about wraps up this video. I've pat tested all of them and they've got a pass. However, that just shows you to be careful. Whatever you buy on the internet, don't trust what the seller says, because them things, the condition they were in, God, some of them were atrocious. I mean, that one with a moulded plug, and I think the worst too was that one with a moulded plug and the thin cable. The one with the moulded plug and the 10 amp fuse, no, there was 3 worse ones, wasn't there? There was the moulded plug with the 13 amp fuse with the 1mm cable. Then there was something else with a 10 amp fuse with 0.75. I mean, what, you know, this stuff, oh god, it's got caught under the tripod. Oh no. Piece of crap. Oh my god, it will be going where it belongs, don't you worry. This is like heat resistant stuff, like it's come off like a fan heater or something. This is like HO7, it probably is HO7. I think it's called HO7, Lucky United. I'm sure it is Lucky. Yep, HO5, so it is some heat resistant something. I mean, it had an unsleeved plug attached straight to it. I mean, these variants of Eveready, there's Eveready variants. This is the one that come with it, that's non-brittle. This looks like the stronger version of Eveready. So there's 2 variants there. ever ready with both pins, with unsleeved pins, sorry. And then if you're wondering about the other ones that came from the other restorations, well, I haven't got every single one in front of me. This is two of my favourites. This is a Micromax one that I converted with 5 meters, and this is my old PMS one that I converted with a Volix unsleeved plug. And them bad boys, I've been using them for, God, I mean, you saw Stephen Pat testing them way back in March. I've been using them for tools, lawnmowers, you name it, they've done it. You know, they really have done it. They've done well, and they're still going now. I've not had a single problem with them. So once these things are restored, they will work beautifully. I mean, some of them are horrendously old, but now they're on a route to last. That's the scrap that I've called out of it. That's the scrap pile down there, which is a load of crap, moulded plug, the dodgy wire and the dodgy socket. You know, that PMS plug that I had, that I cut off that lead, I'm going to take that off because there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that just about wraps up this video. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and bye guys.